And hello, everyone. My name is Mark Thompson, and I'm going to be your host for this first inaugural episode of A Conversation from the Heart, a conversation with the Christian Shelter. And it's my privilege today to introduce to you for the first time our new executive director. He is a new director from the Christian Shelter. We've never had one before. And today we're going to introduce to you Reverend Anthony Dickerson. Reverend Dickerson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
I am so excited to have this conversation with you. I think with the Christian Shelter, a lot of people know about the Christian Shelter from just maybe driving by or hearing things. But today we're starting what's going to be called a conversation from the heart, so people can really understand the insides and the workings of the Christian Shelter. But let me ask you this. You're known in this community because you're a pastor of a church, but why don't you introduce yourself to our audience and tell them about who you are and how you came to the Christian Shelter?
Well, I was born and raised in Salisbury. Went to school in Salisbury. Nonprofit has been my life. I worked at Shore Up. I worked at Caroline County Social Services. I worked at Holly Community, just to name a few. So I've always done nonprofit organizations and serving the needs of people has always been my life. And so I was in Goodwill, and you was in Goodwill, and we were just having a conversation, and you told me that, well, you know, the Christian Shelter is looking for executive director, and I said, well, have y'all found an executive director? No, they've been looking for probably about a year and a half now. I said, well, let me give it a shot because some things were going on at Goodwill. So I said, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I applied, and now I'm here. So I'm glad to be a part of the Christian Shelter team.
And that was amazing when you said that, conversation. That's why it's called a conversation from the heart. Because when I met you that day, something just said, you know, this could be the person for the Christian Shelter. And now you've been there, what, about 2 years?
2 years.
2 years anniversary at the Christian Shelter. Let me ask you, did you know anything about the Christian Shelter before you came?
I've heard about the Christian Shelter, but I didn't know everything there is to know about the Christian Shelter. No.
Wow. So what do you think now, being 2 years as executive director, what does the audience need to know? Why is it so vital to have a building, a facility like the Christian Shelter?
Well, because the needs are great, and now since we're in the midst of a pandemic, we don't know when we're coming out. We serve the community, and so the mission of the Christian Shelter is to minister to the physical, emotional, and the spiritual needs of an individual, and to have an entity of that magnitude to be able to serve the totality of man, the total man, is remarkable. And that's what we do at the Christian Shelter. We don't just give them 3 hots and a cots and a meal and so forth. We like to transform them so that when they leave the Christian Shelter, they will know that they have been to the Christian Shelter and know that somebody really cares and are working with them.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned you cater to the whole person, but it's not just adults.
Right.
There's families that are coming to
Wow. Yeah. There's families. We've turned away several families. In October, we turned away 26 families, which each of those families had a total of 5 or 6 children, which equals 56 children that we had to turn away.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What's the capacity for, how many guests can you have at the Christian Shelter?
We can serve 72 guests. That's full to the capacity. Right now we have about 28 at the shelter. We try to keep it at 40 because of the pandemic.
So for our audience again, we're talking with Reverend Anthony Dickerson, the executive director of the Christian Shelter. When someone comes to the Christian Shelter, they're homeless. What do they come with when they come to you? What does a person typically look like? And I'm not talking about race, but when they come to the shelter, why are they coming to you?
Because they're in need. They have no housing. They probably they can't afford the rent, or they've got put out by a loved one. They was couch surfing at a friend's house, and things didn't go their way. They got kicked out. They're coming depressed. They're coming with grief, and they're coming devastated. They're coming perplexed, and you name it. And we have guests from all walks of life. It doesn't matter the color, the race. So they come with baggage also.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I always say the face of homelessness has changed.
Yeah.
It's not the person sleeping out on the floor, but these are families
Yeah.
coming into you. So with inside the rooms, just trying to get a picture for our audience. So I know we have something like family rooms. So what does a typical room look like?
Well, family rooms are more like, if you can think of a college dorm, they look more like college dorm. They have their own bathroom, and we have 2 sets of bunk beds. In our large family room, we have 3 sets of bunk beds, and we also have a bathroom. So they have their own bathroom. So if you can think of like a college-like dorm.
But they don't have to share bathrooms. That's
Yeah,
special.
yeah,
That's special.
yeah.
So you said, no, they come with a lot of baggage, and they come in there and mental problems, maybe spiritual problems. So what type of services do you have to offer someone besides, like you said, it's not about just 3 hots and a cot. What do you offer them?
I'm excited about the programs, and we're still trying to perfect the programs, because the programs are not perfected to where I would like for them to be. But I'm excited that we have financial literacy classes. We have mental health classes. We partner with the health department. They do smoking cessation class. I'm trying to get them to stop smoking. Smoking cessation class. We have financial literacy 1 and 2. Financial literacy 1 is where we have Miss Barbara Emery. She works with a smaller group, and that's financial literacy 1. And financial literacy 2, we actually partner with Truist. It was formerly known as BB&T.
Okay.
And so they come in, and then they do a piece. We had Life Crisis to come in to do the life skills class. We partner with Warwick Community College. They do the high school diploma piece. And I'm excited to announce, for the first time, we partner with a therapist who's able to deal with the traumatic experiences of our guests, because 99% of our guests comes from traumatic experiences. And so we have someone that can really talk to them, meet them where they are, and really help them to navigate through those situations.
Well, I can't even imagine. We take for granted we have a home, we have food anytime we want to, and there's actually people in our community that don't have that. So when they come to you, they see hope, they have love. I think they also have a good meal, don't they?
Ooh, man, we got the best meal in town. Soul food.
Soul food.
Man, Sister Zena, she throws down. Some of the meals is like macaroni and cheese, barbecue chicken, and string beans. We even have deer meat. Somebody donated deer. We got ribs, fried chicken, you name it. And because she feels that they should eat what we eat, and we shouldn't just serve the homeless anything, peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a bottle of water, and send them on their way. But we believe in the concept of really ministering to the total man, and they need to eat what we eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's important, because sometimes people think, well, just give them anything to eat. But here are people who, just because of the grace of God, I'm not there. They come into the Christian shelter with, again, you said so many different needs, and you said you have financial literacy.
Yep.
What about spiritual needs? I think there's something that goes on about this.
Every night is devotion. When you come to this Christian shelter, you're going to get Jesus, whether you want him or not. And we're not forcing you, we're exposing you.
Exposing, I like that.
And so that's the thing, we're exposing you to Jesus. We don't make it mandatory for you to accept him, but we do make it mandatory for you to attend our devotion. We partner with several churches in the community, and they come and do a phenomenal job with the devotional service. And they're there to minister to the spiritual. That's where the spiritual component come in, because you can't do nothing without Jesus.
That's right. That's right. And that's very important. So when they come in there and they're hurting, they're downtrodden, and they need something, and then you offer that. What about if somebody's out there and are listening to us? And again, this is a conversation from the heart with the Christian Shelter and our executive director, Reverend Anthony Dickerson. If somebody wanted to volunteer, how do they do that?
Oh man, we're always in need of volunteers. They can just apply on our website and turn it in to our administrator. Mary Williams is our administrator. Or they can come by the Christian Shelter. They can take a tour of the Christian Shelter and basically see where they fit in. We need people to paint. We need people to host devotional service. You might want to practice your preaching or teaching. Mm-hmm. So that's a good way. That's a good way to teach. And we need people to serve our guests. It's a time that you can minister to the guests, and sure. So, we're open to definitely volunteers.
Okay. So now we'll flash this information on the screen, but you mentioned the website. Is there a website name?
www.christianshelter.org.
.org, and we'll have the phone number on there. I'm not sure if you know it offhand.
Yeah, 410-749-5673.
Okay, one more time.
410-749-5673.
Okay, and that's the Christian Shelter
phone number.
.org, and that's the Christian dot. Yeah, and really sign on to volunteer. So when you look at the scheme of things that's going on at the Christian Shelter, I love Christmas.
I know,
Christmas.
right?
Well, speaking about Christmas,
yeah.
What do you do for Christmas? So here families come in. This is the worst time of the year to be homeless, and they come in doing Thanksgiving and Christmas. What do you do for them special?
Man, we try to make Christmas in the language of the young people off the chain.
Off the chain.
We try to make it special because they're children. A lot of times around this time, we have more children than anybody else. And we try to make them feel special during the Christmas. So we have volunteers that donate toys and donate clothes, donate. You name it, we getting donations from. Okay. And I'm excited that we applied for Bless Our Children through WBOC. Okay. And they have supplied us with a great contribution, and we thank you, WBOC, for doing that, and hopefully we'll get it this year.
That's right. The Draper Foundation.
Yes,
they do
yes.
It. So when you see on TV the Draper Foundation, Bless Our Children, these are organizations that goes to the Christian Shelter.
And thanks to them, our children was able to have one of the best Christmas last year than they ever had. We got every child a tablet for Christmas. Every child was given a tablet. Yep.
That's amazing. That's incredible. So with all that going on, I'm sure there's needs at the Christian Shelter. Mm-hmm. If you looked at your top 3 needs, what would it be at the Christian Shelter that you need our community, our audience to understand that you need right now?
I'm going to say breakfast meat, any type of breakfast meat. Eggs is always an ongoing need. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say towels and washcloths. Okay. Twin sheets and pillowcases. Okay. Definitely, we need those items.
Okay. And to make donations, do you call first, or how do you go about?
You can call the shelter. You could bring the donations by. We have a distinguished gentleman that will come out and help you with your donations. You don't have to bring the donation unless you want to. Okay. We have somebody that will help you. All you got to do is say, "Can I get a cart?" And we have the gentlemen there to serve you.
Okay. Yep. Well, we mentioned the Christian Shelter, and it's located on
334 Barclay Street, Salisbury, Maryland, 21801.
Okay, right downtown.
Yeah.
You mentioned all this food, and I do serve on the board as full disclosure, and I see what's going on sometime. But talk about where you store all this food and what's the need now.
We store the food. We have a walk-in freezer and a refrigerator, and we store those items in the refrigerator. Unfortunately, our refrigerator is about to give up the ghost. So that is going to be one of the major projects that we're going to be looking for donations, is because the infrastructure of the freezer and the refrigerator has to be repaired. So we've got to take out that whole freezer and refrigerator and repair the infrastructure. And that's going to really cost, it's going to cost a lot of money.
So you're saying that with the food that you have, so let's just say this, if you didn't have the freezer and refrigerator, what would happen? Man,
we would. I don't even want to think. We wouldn't be able to feed them like we normally. We would have a difficult. Yeah.
So we're looking for donations.
Yes.
Financial donations,
yes,
or
definitely.
If there's a a company out there that would like to be part of this project, please
Yeah.
call Reverend Dickerson.
Yeah.
What's that phone number again?
410-749-5673.
Okay, and that's a walk-in refrigerator?
Yeah, walk-in refrigerator and walk-in freezer.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do need the help of the Christians.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was just a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago, the Christian shelter was in desperate need of a roof.
Ooh, man.
Tell us about that whole project.
Man, that was a major undertaking, and we thank God for Jeff Downs as a member of our board and his team, man. And if it wasn't for his knowledge and knowing, man, we wouldn't have a roof. That was a major undertaking. I think it cost us over $250 million. It may be even more than that. I don't know the exact numbers, but it cost us a lot of money to get that roof, and we got it done.
It was the entire roof had to be.
The entire roof. The roof, they had to tear up the HVA system, and wow, it was a major undertaking.
Yeah. Did it affect any of the guests that were staying there?
Yeah, some of the rooms experienced leaks. We was having leak in our dining room. Every time that it rained, we had to put buckets down.
Wow.
Yeah, we've experienced a lot of damage was done.
So Christian Shelter's been around for many years, and I think passing 40 years?
41 years.
41 years of the Christian Shelter.
Yeah.
And in fact, coming up on November 13th, there's a special concert. Tell us about this special
concert sponsored by the Magi Fund. Miss Bonnie Luna, she's been doing that for years, and man, she's just been wonderful. So we're excited about the Magi. The National Choir is going to come at Emmanuel Church and give several renditions, and then they're going to be tag team with the Children's Choir. We're going to have a Children's Choir that is going to also be performing at that event. So we're definitely blessed to have them. And they really wanted to come, and they really wanted to be a blessing to the Christian Shelter.
Wow. Now, if you recall, over the years, the Magi was held at Wacomico High School Auditorium, but this year, and I don't think we had it last year.
No, we didn't have it last year because of COVID.
Wow. And if you have never heard the National Choir,
Yeah.
and the Children's Choir, and these are local children
Yeah.
who are singing in it.
Yeah.
So what kind of information, how do we, and we'll flash this on the screen also,
Yeah.
but how do people get tickets? And
Yeah, they can call us. They can call us, and we
Okay.
can definitely put you in contact with Miss Luna.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would need some tickets, 410-749-5673, just give us a call at the Christian Shelter. We'll make sure you get some tickets.
Wow, and that's a name, Ms. Bonnie Luna. She's
Yeah.
been working on
Wow.
this. And I think with the proceeds go not only to Christian Shelter, but they also help
The Joseph House.
the Joseph
House, yeah.
So, and this is what kicks off, can I say it now?
Yeah,
Christmas.
go ahead. Yeah.
This is what kicks off Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
If you want to kick off Christmas, this is what you need to come to. The Magi, which will be at Emmanuel Salisbury on 217 Beagland Park Drive, and we'll have more information about that.
Yeah.
But please make sure you
Yeah.
sign for that. And also, we've put together this 40th anniversary booklet.
Yeah.
I think you have the booklet.
Yeah, boy.
There's the booklet.
It is.
And
It
now,
is.
40 years ago, it goes back to the beginnings of the Christian Shelter.
Yep. Mr. Greer, him and Ed Wilgus and a couple guys. And how we got it started is Mr. Greer read in the paper about a homeless gentleman freezing to death. And after he had read about it, it sparked something in him he says, I can't have another person freeze, that I've got to do something. And so he and a couple other gentlemen got together, and they met, and they got donations, and there was the birth of the Christian Shelter.
Wow.
Yep. And we've been helping people ever since.
And now you can see the history.
Yeah, this is good.
In the book, and you can purchase a book at the Magi concert.
Yeah. We're gonna be selling these at the Magi concert, and we're hoping to sell. We're hoping to sell out. We definitely need to sell out. But you need this book if you want to know anything about the Christian Shelter. It has the past, the present, and definitely the future.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
You know, we're talking about this is again, it's Conversations from the Heart. I talk with the Christian Shelter and the executive director, Reverend Anthony Dickerson. Another special part about the Christian Shelter, with that building, there is so much space on the second floor.
Yes, sir.
What is? I want you to speak from the heart. What's your dream of having something up there?
Listen, I took John Ramkin. He's the author of the book, and I didn't know this. See, I took them and I showed him the second building, and he looked at me. He says, "You know, you're the reasons why I wrote this book. You inspired me to write this book." I was like, "Wow, I had no idea," and I was looking at the second floor, and I was like, this will be good that we have a one-stop shop where not only our guests, but homeless people can come and get all their services. They don't have to provide for no transportation, but they get the one-stop shop to serve all their needs. And that's what we're hoping to do at the Christian Shelter, to have a social services office, a health department. They'll be able to get their ID. They'll be able to get their high school diploma. And I went to Central Mission in Washington, D.C. and toured their facility when we had our conference. And I toured their facility. They had a doctor's office and a dentist, and they partnered with a doctor. They told me the only thing that I would have to do is present the space. So I said, I may as well throw in a doctor's office and a dentist to provide the space for them to examine guests if they have any health issues, because you know some homeless they have some health issues, and so we'll be able to have a doctor, and they'll be able to get seen by a doctor and so forth, and we'll be able to partner with employers and to help to get people that are not employed jobs. So yeah, we're hoping that one-stop shop.
It's amazing. Again, when you look at the Christian Shelter, and we don't know what people are going through. When they come to the Christian Shelter, they're looking for, again, some place to get out of the elements, but you provide a lot more. What's the average stay, you would say, for someone that comes in?
Well, we increased it. The average stay is 90 days. They'll be able to stay 90 days at the Christian Shelter. It was 30 days, and then you had to be out. But now 90 days. As long as you have a plan, as long as you have some goals and objectives, and you're working on those goals and so forth, you can stay for 90 days.
And you're helping them reach their goals.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So again, we're talking with Reverend Dickerson. He's the executive director. The first time we ever had an executive director. Again, pretty much we have volunteers. You do have a staff. How many people on the staff?
We have a staff of 10 staff people.
10 staff people.
Yep.
What would be your need? And this is a time, employment is always a tough issue. If someone, what I guess hours are you looking for people to come in to work at the Christian Shelter?
Our greatest need is like is 5 p.m. to overnight. So we're looking for overnight person, like an overnight person who's able to work from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. We need a maintenance person that can 25 hours a week.
Okay. I tell you, this has been a pleasure talking to you. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you think we should talk about that someone from the outside knows nothing about, and you've been there 2 years? What would you like to tell them?
If you're homeless, if you are looking to get your life together, the Christian Shelter is the place to be. We'll help you find housing. We'll help you to get back on track. It's not embarrassed. It's not. A lot of people feel embarrassed because they're at their homeless shelter. We're not the typical homeless shelter. We're like a shut-in place. So if you're looking to get a fresh start on life, the Christian Shelter is the place that you need to be.
Well, and this is the place. So once again, my name is Mark Thompson, and I am one of the board members on the Christian Shelter Board, and also the host for what's called From the Heart Conversation with the Christian Shelter. And today we've been speaking with Reverend Anthony Dickerson, our first ever executive director. And we just really appreciate all that our community is doing for the Christian Shelter. And please make sure that if you want to get involved, the website will be on the bottom of the screen. Our phone number will be there. Please give him a call, and please come by and check us out. We need you. The Christian Shelter needs you. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are. So this is your opportunity. And please don't forget, November 13th, the Magi concert, which helps fund not only the Christian Shelter, but also the Little Sisters of St. Joseph House. And you can buy that book. So once again, thank you so much. God bless you. And we'll see you next time from A Conversation from the Heart with the Christian Shelter.